The internet has been set ablaze by newly released footage showing Michael Jordan and Savannah James, the wife of LeBron James, sharing a moment that has everyone buzzing. In no time, speculation began running rampant. What could this mean for LeBron? Could it intensify the long-standing rivalry between him and MJ? For years, fans have been divided over the endless LeBron versus Jordan GOAT debate, but this unexpected development adds a fresh twist to the narrative. Is this just another internet sensation spun out of control, or is there more beneath the surface? What's certain is that the online world isn't letting this go anytime soon, so prepare yourself for what's next. The story has only just begun. LeBron recently revealed that, despite their shared legacy as two of basketball's all-time greats, he and Michael Jordan don't really communicate. The announcement sent ripples through the basketball community, sparking conversations about their legacies and emphasizing how James has always regarded Jordan as a childhood hero. During an open discussion on the Pat McAfee Show, James offered insight into where things currently stand between him and the six-time NBA champion. While reassuring fans that their relationship is solid, he didn't shy away from addressing reality. We don't communicate. Why? Because James remains deeply entrenched in the grind, relentlessly pursuing excellence. I'm still playing, I'm still locked in on my craft right now, he shared. So, things are all good between you and Michael? Who, me and Michael? Jordan? Sure, here's a rewritten version. Yeah, we're in a good place. We don't communicate much. Why is that, you think? Probably because I'm still active. I'm still in the game, still honing my craft. For years, debates comparing James and Jordan have stirred passionate discussions, analyzing titles, MVP honors, scoring records, and pivotal moments. But aside from all the stats and achievements, the nature, or absence, of their personal connection introduces another fascinating layer to their story. James hinted that retirement might open the door for building that bond, similar to what he experienced with Kobe Bryant. Interestingly, the ironic part is that, aside from the late and truly great Kobe, he and I never really shared a close relationship either. Before we joined forces on the Olympic team, we had a great bond. Olympic team in 2008, Olympic team in 2012, but there was always a sense of competition between us. I was rooted on the East Coast while he reigned on the West Coast. So even though we never directly clashed, the rivalry was always there until retirement shifted everything. When Bryant stepped away from the court in 2016, our connection deepened. Then, when I signed with Los Angeles as a free agent in 2018, he greeted me warmly. He reached out and said, "Bro, whatever you need here in LA, I've got you. You're a Laker now, your family," James reminisced. That marked the beginning of a new chapter in our relationship, which only grew stronger. Bryant openly supported me, applauding my accomplishments and encouraging me to keep pushing the limits of the game. And after I became a Laker and he had retired, that's when our bond truly strengthened. He embraced me, telling me again, "Bro, anything you need in LA, it's yours, your family." And we often had meaningful conversations from then on. Of course, here's a rewritten version of your excerpt. Clearly, there's a lot of buzz about upcoming solo performances, plenty of games, and other related aspects. Could we see a comparable transition with Jordan? It's feasible, but not as long as James is still stepping onto the court. My belief is that it stems from the fact that I'm still active, you know? And MJ, well, everyone knows MJ, even if you've never met him. He's regarded as one of the fiercest competitors ever. Until the day I retire, and he no longer has to watch me sprinting up and down the floor in the number 23 jersey, or hear my name constantly linked to his. He's probably thinking, I'm not even going to talk to you. That said, the conversation about who holds the title of basketball's greatest has sparked debates for decades, fueling heated discussions in barbershops, on sports shows, and throughout social media. Is it Michael Jordan, the six-time NBA champion who owned the 90s with his relentless drive? Or is it LeBron James, the versatile powerhouse who broke records and set a new standard for longevity in the game? The response varies depending on who you consult and where you search on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Fans remain passionately split on the matter. One advocate for Jordan contended that if you were fortunate enough to witness both athletes in action, the superior player is clear, and it's not even close. According to them, MJ was extraordinary, a sentiment they never experienced while watching LeBron. Even icons like Magic Johnson joined the debate, confidently stating that there's no contest, Michael or LeBron. That's an easy one, Michael. You'll have to come up with a more challenging question. Michael appeared in the finals 6 times and never suffered a loss. However, LeBron supporters pushed back, with one pointing out, how can MJ be considered the GOAT when LeBron has logged 400 more games and 15,000 additional minutes of play? LeBron is still shouldering the weight of franchises, while MJ had to contend with less demanding expectations. Someone else contended that LeBron surpasses MJ as a volume scorer, declaring that it solidifies his status as the greatest of all time. After all, volume scoring was Jordan's signature strength, yet LeBron excels at it even more. How uncomfortable must that realization be for MJ? The ongoing debate over who truly deserves the title of the greatest player ever shows no sign of resolution. This endless argument has fueled speculation that Jordan and James bear ill will toward one another. Meanwhile, their fan bases exacerbate the tension by engaging in relentless online feuds. Despite this narrative, the two basketball icons have expressed nothing but respect for each other, particularly during their heartfelt interaction at the 2022 NBA All-Star Game in Cleveland. At the event, which commemorated the league's 75th anniversary team, their admiration for one another was on full display. Later that same year, Quinn Cook, a two-time NBA champion with close ties to LeBron, shed light on their private relationship. He disclosed that the bond between Jordan and James transcends the public's competitive storyline, revealing a genuine connection behind the scenes. This realization became evident following the emotional embrace shared by LeBron James and Michael Jordan during the NBA's 75th anniversary celebration at the All-Star Game in Cleveland. The moment highlighted their deep mutual respect. Later, LeBron would open up about that touching encounter during his post-game press conference after securing a victory with a game-winning fadeaway shot, keeping his undefeated record as an All-Star team captain intact. "I couldn't let the chance slip to shake the hand of someone who was such a significant inspiration to me as a kid," LeBron shared. "Over my 19 or 20 years in this league, I haven't had much interaction with him, but I know that part of who I am today is because of MJ. As a kid, I always aspired to be like him." Meanwhile, during an episode of the Courtside with Duke podcast, Cook offered unusual insights into their relationship, shedding light on the private dynamics between the two legends. He explained that they interact more often than fans realize, revealing instances of phone calls and intimate dinners that showcase a bond beyond the public GOAT debate narrative. "I've personally witnessed LeBron call Jordan on the phone," Cook said. "I've been present at dinners and even been out at the club with both of them. They share a fantastic dynamic. While LeBron has firmly established himself, his humility really stands out. He has the ability to reach out to the Magics, the Jordans, and all the players he idolized growing up. That's just a testament to how grounded he is. I can even tell you that Jordan serves as a mentor to MJ," Cook shared. Meanwhile, on First Take, Stephen A. Smith joined Brian Windhorst and Kendra Perkins to dissect LeBron James' reaction to a question about his dynamic with Michael Jordan, as well as the likelihood of a deeper bond forming between the two iconic NBA figures. Brian Windhorst, who has been following LeBron's career for more than 2 decades, remarked that the two aren't really friends and haven't been for a significant amount of time, adding, "And they never will be. That's just me being honest. They'll never have that kind of relationship." Perkins also took a moment to recount a personal encounter he had with Jordan. "Michael, MJ is as competitive as it gets," he noted. "But if you check my closet, you'll see it's filled with nothing but James. I try to stay sharp when it comes to James." He admitted that falling out of favor with MJ came at the cost of a lifetime stash of sneakers. "Back in the day, I'd regularly get packages delivered straight to my door, packed with the latest Jordans before they even hit the shelves. But once I kicked off my media career and declared LeBron James the greatest of all time, those packages came to a sudden halt." As the debate surrounding LeBron's ties with Michael Jordan continues to spark discussion, one thing is obvious. Upsetting MJ or excessively praising LeBron can lead to consequences, as Kendra Perkins learned firsthand. Of course, LeBron is no stranger to stirring up controversy. Over the course of his career, he's been at the center of intense rivalries, fiery clashes on the court, and headline-grabbing disagreements. Each of these moments has added depth to his story and cemented his place in NBA history. Competition, both inside and outside the arena, is nothing new for LeBron James. His undeniable dominance in basketball has often come hand in hand with dramatic confrontations, publicized quarrels, and enduring rivalries. Whether sparring with reporters, retired athletes, or his peers on the court, LeBron has never hesitated to voice his opinions. The latest entry in his long list of public disputes involves none other than Stephen A. Smith of ESPN. And this is just scratching the surface. LeBron James has always been outspoken, particularly when it comes to matters involving his loved ones. That passion took center stage during a recent Lakers-Knicks matchup, where he confronted Smith right at courtside. The reason? Smith's continuous commentary about LeBron's oldest son, Bronny James. While LeBron may accept critiques of his own performance, he draws a firm boundary when the conversation shifts to his family, especially his children. This wasn't a brief interaction, but rather the spark of an intense conflict between two high-profile figures in the sports world. Known for his bold opinions and outsized personality, Smith has routinely speculated about Bronny's future in basketball, questioning the merit of the attention he's garnered and whether it's truly earned. Smith always wanted to stir the pot, is firm in his belief that Bronny, as an aspiring NBA player making waves in the headlines, should face the same level of scrutiny as any promising young talent. However, LeBron takes a contrasting view. The 4-time NBA champion argues that his son is being unfairly targeted and that Smith's criticism is placing undue pressure on a teenager still navigating his early basketball journey. The tension between the two came to a boiling point during a Lakers versus Knicks game, where cameras caught LeBron and Smith embroiled in a heated courtside argument. With the kind of intensity usually reserved for playoff games, LeBron leaned in, confronting Smith and calling on him to ease off his relentless critique of Bronny. Though the exchange lasted mere moments, its impact reverberated through the sports world, sparking widespread debate among fans and analysts. Was this an example of a father standing up to defend his child, or a case of a superstar attempting to stifle valid commentary? In the aftermath, Smith addressed the incident on his ESPN show, offering his perspective. While emphasizing that his critique was never personal, he stood by his obligation to provide an unbiased evaluation of talent. If you're competing at this level and are in the spotlight, expect to be discussed, Smith explained. Although he expressed admiration for LeBron's role as a father, he cautioned that shielding Bronny from criticism wouldn't benefit him in the future. LeBron, however, didn't stay silent. During an unreserved appearance on the Pat McAfee show, he delivered a sharp retort aimed squarely at Smith, leaving no doubt that the ESPN commentator had completely misinterpreted the situation. Criticism? That's part of the sport. LeBron emphasized, his tone charged with passion. Criticism? That's part of it. It comes with the territory. But when it crosses the line and gets personal, he continued, it becomes his responsibility to not only defend his household, but also stand up for his fellow players. After LeBron's strong response to the back and forth with Smith during his discussion on Pat McAfee's show, Smith fired back with a heated statement, suggesting potential damage to James's legacy. When you hang up your jersey, let's see how often your name comes up in my conversations. Spoiler, it won't be much. Trust me, once you're done playing, you won't be occupying much of my thoughts. With both individuals refusing to back down, it's clear this rivalry isn't cooling off anytime soon. Whether it evolves into a high-profile media clash or fades away over time is anyone's guess. One thing is for sure, whenever LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith cross paths again, everyone will be paying attention. That said, this dispute with Smith is merely the latest chapter in LeBron's history of fiery confrontations. If there's anything the past has shown us, it's that LeBron doesn't shy away from standing his ground. Before this exchange of words, another bold NBA figure took aim at LeBron, only to find themselves facing a sharp response. The basketball world thrives on controversy, and few rivalries have been as heated as the one between LeBron James and Charles Barkley. The 2016-17 NBA season saw two basketball legends go head-to-head in a highly publicized feud that captured headlines and sparked passionate debates among fans. Fresh off their sensational NBA championship, where they overcame a historic 3-1 deficit to dethrone the Golden State Warriors, the Cleveland Cavaliers entered the new season with high expectations. However, instead of building on their success, the team faced a series of challenges. LeBron James, renowned for his strategic mind and relentless pursuit of excellence, recognized trouble brewing. After a particularly frustrating defeat, he openly expressed his dissatisfaction and emphasized the need for additional offensive support. LeBron specifically pushed for a playmaker to strengthen the team alongside himself and Kyrie Irving, pointing out that their current lineup seemed ill-equipped to compete with the Warriors, who had bolstered their already dominant roster by adding Kevin Durant. However, LeBron's candid remarks drew criticism from Charles Barkley, who used the spotlight on Inside the NBA to call him out. Known for his bold and often polarizing opinions, Barkley dismissed James' comments as unnecessarily complaint-driven. He argued that the four-time MVP should be satisfied with the talented teammates he already had, and suggested that truly great players elevate those around them rather than seeking external reinforcements. Refusing to let Barkley's remarks go unanswered, LeBron made it clear he wasn't going to take the criticism lightly. Rather than staying within the realm of basketball discussion, he took a direct approach, delving into Barkley's history and launching a scathing verbal counterattack. In a passionate rebuttal, LeBron called Barkley a hypocrite, listing a series of controversial incidents from his past. He highlighted Barkley's well-documented off-court troubles, including his gambling habits, the notorious incident where he spat on a young fan, and even the infamous bar altercation where Barkley hurled a man through a glass window. LeBron wasn't just defending himself. He firmly asserted that Barkley lacked the moral authority to pass judgment on him. "I'm not going to let him tarnish my legacy like that," LeBron declared. "I'm not the guy who threw someone through a window, spit on a kid, or racked up unpaid debts in Vegas." More than just silencing Barkley's criticism, LeBron sent a broader message. Critiques should come from individuals with untarnished records, something Barkley undeniably lacked. Although tensions ran high during the exchange, time eventually softened the ordeal. Barkley, despite his bold persona, later admitted he bore no personal grudge against LeBron, claiming his commentary had solely focused on basketball matters. James continued his reign over the league, amassing more titles and solidifying his position as one of basketball's all-time legends. Although LeBron and Charles Barkley managed to reconcile their differences, his conflict with Draymond Green unfolded in an entirely different and unpredictable way. Few rivalries in NBA history have burned as fiercely or carried as much weight as the one between LeBron James and Draymond Green. The tension between them reached its zenith during the unforgettable 2016 NBA Finals, a series renowned for its drama, intensity, and the heartbreaking result for the Warriors. In Game 4, Green, never one to back down from confrontation, crossed the line during a heated moment with LeBron, resulting in a flagrant foul and a crucial suspension for Game 5. That single-game suspension marked a pivotal shift in the series. With Green out, LeBron and the Cavaliers seized the opportunity, rallying from a 3-1 deficit to achieve one of sports' most astonishing comebacks. Green later acknowledged the impact of his suspension, admitting it was a significant blow to his team's chances. To this day, Warriors fans are left to wonder how things might have unfolded if their passionate leader hadn't been sidelined. Though tensions between LeBron and Green have eased over time, with Green even expressing admiration for LeBron's greatness, their battles remain etched in NBA lore. For LeBron, it became yet another instance where he transformed rivalry into motivation, using Green's intensity as fuel for one of the greatest moments in basketball history. Just as LeBron's rivalries highlight his intense drive and passion for competition, even Michael Jordan's seemingly unblemished legacy has its imperfections, weaving a narrative far more nuanced than it may appear. MJ's imperfect legend Michael Jordan is synonymous with greatness. Boasting 6 NBA championship titles, 5 MVP honors, and a cultural influence that transcends the basketball court, his legacy is forever cemented in the history of sports. However, beneath the allure of the Air Jordan persona lies a complex reality. Although his career sparkled with unmatched achievements, Jordan has found himself embroiled in controversies, rumors, and actions that cast doubt on the pristine image many associate with him. Take, for instance, the 1993 NBA playoffs when the Chicago Bulls were battling the New York Knicks. On the eve of Game 2, Jordan was seen gambling in Atlantic City, a revelation that sent shockwaves through the media. Could the greatest basketball star of all time be prioritizing casino games over his pursuit of another championship? Jordan and his supporters dismissed the uproar, chalking it up to a casual night of relaxation. Yet, critics viewed the incident as further evidence of his well-known gambling tendencies. Concerns surrounding Jordan's gambling habits escalated when businessman Richard Esquinas released a book claiming the NBA superstar had lost millions through golf bets. The prospect of the league's most prominent figure being embroiled in high-stakes gambling sparked widespread scrutiny. While Jordan acknowledged his betting activities, he maintained that they were always under control. Then, in a move that blindsided everyone, Jordan retired from basketball in 1993. His unexpected departure at the height of his career stunned fans and experts alike. Officially, he attributed the decision to emotional burnout and the devastating loss of his father, James Jordan, who had been murdered. Despite this explanation, conspiracy theories began to swirl, with some speculating that the NBA had imposed a secret suspension due to his gambling. Commissioner David Stern fiercely refuted these allegations, but the circumstances surrounding Jordan's exit left room for doubt. When Jordan made his much-anticipated return to the NBA in 1995, the rumors persisted. His relentless competitive spirit, however, extended far beyond the basketball court. He described it as a competition issue rather than a gambling problem. His relentless drive to win wasn't confined to basketball courts. It extended to activities like card games, rounds of golf, and even friendly wagers with security staff, as highlighted in Netflix's The Last Dance. In one instance, he lost a coin toss to Bulls security guard John Michael Wozniak. On another occasion, he walked away with $17,000 from a teammate who reportedly had to reach out to his wealthy father for help in covering the debt. While cards were his most frequent gambling activity, golf proved to be his costliest indulgence. In May 1993, the book Michael and Me, Our Gambling Addiction, My Cry for Help by Richard Esquinas detailed how Jordan allegedly racked up more than $1.2 million in unpaid golf bets. Although Jordan denied owing this amount, the issue was reportedly settled for $300,000. That same year, in a shocking twist, Jordan retired from basketball to play baseball, fueling widespread speculation of a secret NBA suspension tied to his gambling. The conspiracy gained momentum when a reporter proposed a link between Jordan's gambling habits and the tragic death of his father. However, Stern and other NBA officials repeatedly refuted such claims. Bill Simmons, a columnist for ESPN, later recounted Stern mockingly brushing off the rumors, quipping about Jordan serving a secret suspension from his own living room. Even George Vexey, a highly regarded sports journalist from the New York Times, supported Stern's stance, asserting that concealing a suspension of that magnitude would have been unfeasible. Jordan's brief detour into baseball ended quickly, and by March 1995, he was back with the Bulls, steering them toward 3 consecutive championships in 1996, 1997, and 1998. By that point, Jordan had solidified his legacy as the greatest basketball player in history, while any controversy surrounding his gambling had faded into a mere footnote in his remarkable career. His vast fortune meant he could easily weather any monetary setbacks from his betting pursuits. For him, gambling was just another outlet to fuel his relentless competitive drive. Nevertheless, in a 2005 interview with 60 Minutes, Jordan conceded that he'd made some unwise choices when it came to gambling. His fixation with winning extended far beyond the basketball court, spilling into nearly every aspect of his life. It influenced every corner of his existence, shaping how he interacted with his teammates. His intense drive to win propelled him to remarkable achievements, but also made him merciless at times. Behind the scenes, Jordan wasn't merely a leader, he was a disciplinarian. One of the most notorious instances of his forceful leadership occurred during a practice, where he ended up punching teammate Steve Kerr during a confrontation. Kerr later characterized the incident as a pivotal moment in their dynamic, though to outsiders, it offered a troubling glimpse into Jordan's unrelenting nature. In another startling tale, Jordan was said to have refused Horace Grant a meal on the team plane when he believed Grant had performed below expectations. These anecdotes portrayed Jordan as a star who didn't just demand accountability, but also took control of virtually every aspect of his teammates' experience. Even during his 2009 Hall of Fame induction speech, his unyielding mentality was on full display. Instead of focusing on gracious reflections, he used the opportunity to address past grievances, revisiting stories of being cut from his high school team, confronting his doubters, and subtly calling out rivals. For some, this speech epitomized his fierce competitive spirit, while others saw it as a petty reminder that Jordan rarely left grudges behind. No matter the critiques, Jordan's legacy stands unshaken. His unparalleled skill, relentless dedication, and fierce competitive drive set him apart from everyone else. However, his journey isn't solely defined by victories and accolades. it's equally shaped by his imperfections and divisive moments. Maybe that's what makes Jordan so compelling. He was more than just a basketball icon. He was undeniably human. And in that humanity, he remains one of the most fascinating personalities in sports history. Case in point, the recent internet buzz surrounding footage of Michael Jordan and LeBron James's wife, serving as yet another reminder that glimpses into the lives of legends like MJ never fail to captivate. Whether reflecting on his past or observing his present, the world simply can't turn away. Thanks for staying with us through this exploration. If you're curious to learn more, be sure to tap the next card now. Until we meet again.